Good morning everyone. In the last tutorial we saw how to enable scripts in DaVinci Resolve by installing Python. Once Python is installed we have the possibility to create subtitles for DaVinci starting from a video file. It is done through a Python plugin called Vosk. We mentioned that we did the test for Python last time. And then we added these projects. Now we added this Vosk entry, where is the test, and then there is the entry for creating subtitles. Clearly creating subtitles doesn't work if we don't have all the requirements. To have all the requirements, let's see with test. In test, we have the link to this tutorial. We have a key that goes to try Python. Try Python OK. Now on my computer I have already installed Vosk. So I click on Vosk test and it will tell me Vosk test is OK. In your case, that's probably the first time you've entered this window and you don't have Vosk installed. If you do the Vosk test, you will get an error, so in this tutorial we will see how to get the Vosk test OK, and the subtitle creation test OK. There is a series of steps to which you have to be very careful. First you need to install Vosk. In this little button I made sure that Vosk is installed. Then clicking here Vosk is installed, but I'll also show you how everything is done manually via the command line. On the Magic Automa site there are two files that are used to install FmpEg. Vosk without FmpEg won't work. So let's go click here. You see that two files have been downloaded. One is the FmpEg tools and the other is a tool that I made which is used to add to the Windows path where FmpEg is located. Now let's see how to do everything via command line. Let's open the command prompt, cmd. And since we have Python installed, we have the pip3 command available, which is used to install tools via command line. In this case it will install Vosk. On my PC Vosk is already installed, and it gives me this information. It will give you some more and will give you the OK if the installation was successful. Once Vosk is installed, we are not ready to create subtitles yet because FFmpeg is still missing. Then we go to Unpack and Install. Open the download folder. Let's install FFmpeg first. This is not an installer, so we basically unpack it and copy it to the C drive. Right-click Copy. Right-click Paste. Now we have to run the tool to add the FmpEg bin path to the path system variable. Let's run as administrator. Since it was already installed on my computer, it asks me whether to overwrite the value. Now let's see if the environment variable has been added. Has been added here. I already had it, so I delete it so as not to have a duplication. Now let's go to Magic Automa. Let's do the Vosk test. And it gives us a positive result. Then let's test subtitle creation. After a while we are given the positive result. We close. And let's go for the first test in Spanish. This window asks for the name of the subtitles. And a 2-letter international code for the language you want to create subtitles for. Remember that it is a transcription and not a translation. In the first example we enter S for Spanish. Click on Start. Now we see that a subtitle SRT file has been created, which we can drag in the timeline to a subtitle track. Or on an empty track and the subtitle track is created. Let's see the result.
Buenos días. Esto es una prueba de grabación para utilizar el nuevo modo de subtitulado de DaVinci Resolve. Haremos las pruebas pertinentes, pruebas más avanzadas y finalmente haremos una conversión a otro idioma a través del subtitulado.
As you have seen, it went almost perfectly fine. There is only one small mistake. Instead of transcribing Resolve, he transcribed Resort. But let's edit with any subtitle editing software or a notepad. In other tutorials, we will see how Magic Automaton handles the conversion between the various formats in circulation of subtitles and markers. Now let's do a slightly more complex test. Where in timeline I put a longer speech in Italian. It's about 13 minutes. Let's go here. We are offered a name for the subtitles. And then, it is proposed to us as the Italian language, because here I am using Italian as the language of the Magic Automa interface, but of course you can change it. Click on Start. Now we can see in a little more detail what it does, because since exporting and creating subtitles takes longer, let's see what it does. After exporting this MP4 file, a window will open in the command prompt and you see that FMPEG is processing. You can also minimize and wait for the Resolve edit page to open. At this point the processing is finished. I go to the media pool and select the created subtitle file. I put it here. Do you see how many subtitles have been created? Now let's place the first subtitle on the first word said, i.e. at the point where it begins to say, "Good morning everyone."
Buongiorno a tutti, vi piacerebbe avere una funzione che faccia questo tutto in automatico? Da un modello di progetto, selezionando un percorso dove ho tutti i miei contenuti video, crearmi un nuovo progetto tutto in automatico.
You have seen that most subtitles are almost perfect. Where there are errors, I double-click and this window opens and I go to change to DaVinci. Or with an external editor. Clearly, the more the speaker is precise and clear, the more the subtitles are created in a perfect way. In the Magic Automaton document folder, Subtitles, there are subtitle files created. We can edit them as we want with one of the many subtitle editing programs. Well, for subtitles that's all. I remain at your disposal for any question. Contact me and I will be happy to answer you.